Ow! Greetings, YouTube. This is DecKrash, better known as Brandon. Alright, I have not done one of these for a very long time. I can't even remember the last movie I looked at. I'm going to have to go back through my catalog and see to see my last movie review. But I have my friend Jeff here. He and I just got back from seeing Jupiter Ascending. And, okay, before I start, I guess I will admit, because I'm a fan of the Wachowskis' work, if you remember how I was gushing about Cloud Atlas, and I didn't say this to anybody on my YouTube channel, but I was just appalled at how many people had not seen that movie. It was one guy I knew who was a big sci-fi fan, and he also had watched a lot of the Wachowskis movies too, and I talked to him about Cloud Atlas, and he's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Dude, you never seen that movie?" And he's like, "No." And I realized after that, so many people just didn't even bother to go watch it. A lot of people thought it was pretentious. A lot of people thought it was ridiculous.
I haven't seen it, but I want to see it.
Yeah, and you said you have the. You said you
Yeah, I
have
have the DVD. I've got it.
Yep. Okay. And so, like I was, I'm going off track here. I'm a big fan of the Wachowskis movies. I've seen all of them, I think. I've seen all the Matrix movies. I've seen Speed Racer. I've seen V for Vendetta. I've seen Cloud Atlas. And I just got back, Jeff and I just got back from watching.
They did Speed Racer?
Yeah, they did Speed
Oh,
Racer.
sweet. I like that.
and they, and we just got back from watching Jupiter Ascending. Now, I personally loved this movie. I mean, from the very first time I saw the trailers, and then I learned it was the Wachowskis who had done this movie. I was like, "Oh yes, I am so there."
I mean, if nothing else, it was a lot of fun.
Oh God,
no
yes.
matter what else you could say about it, it was a fun movie.
Oh yeah, and honestly, yes.
That's really
Because
what you want with a sci-fi movie. You want it fun.
well, I think that sci-fi movies can afford to be a little bit smarter than some of them turn out to be.
Yeah.
And of course, there are good smart sci-fi movies like Inception and
Minority Report.
Minority Report. There's a lot of movies out there, sci-fi especially, that are thinking men's movies.
Have you seen Gattaca?
No, I have not seen that one.
Oh my God, you gotta watch Gattaca. But anyway.
All right, so anyway.
I'm gonna have to bring that over to you.
Okay, yeah, you do that.
Treat. That's a fun.
So, let me see. Jupiter Ascending. Okay, so the movie is basically Mila Kunis and Channing Tatum are the two main stars. Mila Kunis is this young girl who's the daughter of a Russian immigrant who they're part of a large Russian immigrant family. They have sort of like a house cleaning service. She tends to clean the toilets, so she's basically a nobody.
Yeah.
Even though there's
she really doesn't like her life, she's kind of.
Yeah, she's always talking about how much she hates her life.
Right.
And I guess I can't blame her. She gets up like at the crack of dawn and has to go all these houses, and usually these are houses of really rich and famous people, and well, maybe not famous, but very rich people, and have to clean all the toilets and do all the vacuuming and stuff like that. But anyway. So one day, she goes to a clinic to harvest some of her eggs because it would pay her a lot of money. And her cousin kind of talks her into it, but then find out that the whole deal is run by aliens who want to kill her. And thus begins the adventure of her lifetime when she meets a human dog hybrid played by Channing Tatum named Kane, who's this fearless, basically interstellar soldier. He has the coolest thing you'll ever see, flying shoes.
Yeah, these hover boots, kind of like the Zelda hover boots.
Yeah, they're hover boots.
Expanded.
Yeah, imagine rollerblades, but you can fly with them.
Kind of like what the Iron Man did, or certain.
Well, Iron Man flies with a repulsor blast.
Yeah.
That's a bit different.
Yeah.
His work using gravity. They explained it in the movie. But anyway, so basically he becomes her protector.
Would have come in handy for Interstellar.
Another good thinking man sci-fi movie.
What's that?
Another good thinking man sci-fi movie. Yeah.
Correct.
Please excuse. By the way, please excuse the coughs, everyone. He's got allergies. I have that lung condition I told y'all all about. So if I break out into a bit of coughing, please pay no mind.
Gotta love the winter.
Yeah, it's a cold really that's really doing it to me. Because the last few days have been kind of warm and I didn't have any problems at all. So anyway, moving on. So And so okay, so Channing Tatum is her becomes her protector because the she finds out that the Earth is part of this big corporation of harvesting worlds, and what they harvest the worlds for, I'll let you watch the movie. And it's she is in essence basically the heir to the planet because she has a genome that matches this woman who is the royal head of this corporation, who Earth was one of her holdings, and it was supposed to be one of the most valuable of her holdings. And so begins their adventure to stay one step ahead of the three crazy siblings that are trying to take her for their own purposes, and to ensure the safety of not only her family but the entire planet. And so this movie borrows, and I like how Movie Bob put it. And remember, I'm kind of a fan of Movie Bob's movies, despite some of the complaints I give of him. I love his reviews. But he's right that it borrows a lot. And by the way, if you see if it runs out of sync again, I'm still seeing everything freezing up on my computer periodically. I really wish I knew what was going on. But anyway, in the movie, you see so much influence from other sci-fi
It definitely has
shows.
Matrix elements in it.
Yes, it
I think
has
it has
some
pretty
slight
strong
Matrix
elements.
elements in it. And I wouldn't call them strong. They have some thematic elements, but
Yeah.
it
I
doesn't
mean, it
really
doesn't
scream.
crib straight from the Matrix, but I mean, thematically, I got a pretty strong taste in the Matrix,
Yeah,
which isn't a bad thing in my
well, definitely. It's a person who finds out that they're special and have to save the world.
opinion.
Pretty much that's that very strong thing. But with the Matrix, that's actually sort of a hero's journey story too, which is of course a type of a story that's prevalent in a lot of
Right.
stories, the monomyth as they call it. I
Right.
think I told you guys about it out there. A book called "Myth in the Movies" by Stuart Wojtyla. If you get a chance to check it out, it actually talks about the so-called monomyth, but also other story conventions. But anyway, so yeah, Mila Kunis, this is it has that element from the Matrix in that regard, but it also borrows from a lot of other really good sci-fi fare, Star Wars, Flash Gordon. Oh my God, almost not Buck Rogers, but definitely has elements of Flash Gordon and Star Wars in it.
It has the
And
element of all the really fun shows in
yeah,
it
if you
that
think of
way.
any
It's
big interstellar romp type
yeah.
sci-fi, almost pulpy sci-fi, and trust me, there's a lot of pulp in this, but it's good pulp. And there's these type of robo guardian guards or something like that that have
And they're
like
not
guns for
kidding about the
hands.
world building. It's
Well, we're getting to that.
yeah.
Yeah, and they have these cool like robo guards with guns for hands, and they look like something straight out of an old sci-fi flick from the '80s,
Yeah.
which I loved. First, from a distance, I thought they came in different colors. When they had this reddish color to them, they looked from a distance like the Titans from Attack on Titan for some strange reason,
You
at
did
least to
mention
me.
that. You kind of said something about that.
Yeah, but anyway, but and as Jeff was saying, yes, a huge amount of world building. There's a lot of
Oh
detail
yeah.
in the settings,
They make a very good
in
art
the
book.
oh god, yes, I hope to
A
find. And
fantastic art. I guarantee it's a art book.
I'm a collector of art books, by the way, and yeah, if I find an art
Oh
book for
yeah.
Jupiter Ascending, I'm hoping it's a really nice one and I can get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way that these set pieces and costumes and also the explanation of the history leading up to this point and everything, it's a masterpiece of world building for a movie. And like you guys know, I'm a big stickler for world building, and so it makes for a really good makes for a world building fan like me. This was candy.
Yeah.
uh and the acting also to me was pretty darn decent. I
Yeah,
know
I
I
can't complain about the acting really.
yeah
Like even that one weird guy, that's just his
which weird guy.
that really quiet guy. The what's his name?
You're talking about Kane's
Yeah, the
mentor.
main villain guy or whatever.
Oh, him.
Very
Yeah,
soft spoken, except in certain elements where he just
yeah, but
loses his shit.
yeah, he did play. To me, that seems to be one of your classic villain tropes. The
Yeah.
one that's quiet but is secretly out of his freaking mind.
No, he's way out of his mind. He is.
Yeah, and but acting wise was pretty darn decent
Yeah.
from Mila Kunis and Channing Tatum. And I know a lot of people out there don't like Channing Tatum for some strange reason. Um, this movie, he really does show that he had some pretty good acting chops. He wasn't just another pretty face. He did a very decent job playing Kane. And also Mila Kunis, who of course does the voice for Meg from Family Guy. She and if you've ever seen her in that '70s show, she's a fairly decent actress, and she pulls this off fairly well.
Yeah.
She does a good job of playing the wide-eyed girl who is brought from having nothing to this into a universe far greater and more amazing than anything she could have ever imagined, and then finding out she's royalty. Some reviewers didn't like her saying because she just seemed to be so silent and slack-jawed all the time. And I'm thinking like, well, put yourself in her shoes. What do you think?
Yeah.
The action scenes in this movie were amazing.
Yeah.
Oh
Very
God,
well
especially with
executed
just the
action.
yeah, especially with just the visual richness
Right.
of the movie itself, with the set pieces and everything like that, CG or otherwise. This was this was astounding.
But this movie isn't just like a dumb action movie either. It has some intelligence to it,
Yes, this
which
movie.
reviews really don't make it seem like. But it's a lot smarter than just throwing a bunch of action and pretty scenes together. I think it was more than
We'll get to the reviews in a second. But yeah, the movie was a
that.
lot smarter than than really I even kind of expected it to be. I mean, it's standard sci-fi fare, but a little bit smarter than the rest. Not Inception level smart, mind you, but it
No,
has
not Interstellar
intelligence.
level smart either.
Yeah, well, we're looking at that. What's his face?
That's a bit higher reaching there.
What's the guy who did Interstellar?
Or
Christopher
again,
Nolan.
Gattaca.
Yeah, Christopher
Gattaca is
Nolan.
very intelligent.
Yeah, but Christopher Nolan loves to do really intelligent movies, and this is
Yeah.
not Christopher Nolan level
Right.
smart.
Right.
This is definitely Wachowski
It's like
smart,
Guardians of the
which
Galaxy type of fun.
Guardians of the
Fast
Galaxy
together.
level fun, but a bit smarter than Guardians of the
Right.
Galaxy.
Right.
Yeah.
That was pretty stock adventure there.
Well, and so yeah, you have really good action scenes that and very good moments to catch your breath and give explanation, a bit more explanation, and for the plot to thicken. Great costume design, even though some of it was probably more CG than costume design, and a lot of good explanation. I mean, some of the
I think
costume design.
the pacing was good too.
We'll get to that though.
Okay.
But the costume design was really far out because, well, a lot of humans in this galactic civilization are spliced with the DNA from other animals. And so you can tell by the way they look. So there's one guy was a navigational expert. He looked like he was half elephant with a slight
Yeah,
trunk and
maybe
the
it was a
tusks. Another girl had big mouse ears. And Channing Tatum, like I say, his character Kane was spliced with something that was akin to a wolf.
yeah, it was almost like a werewolf type of thing.
Yeah, he had teeth, but he had like kind of pointy ears instead of maybe floppy ears, which
Right.
it made me think that they probably tried sort of floppy ears with him, and made him look too silly or something like that. So they went to a sort of slight point for the ears, which I thought was pretty cool. Uh, of course the civilization's been around for a very 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 long time, but I don't want to spoil the movie for you. But they have a really advanced knowledge of splicing DNA, and so I thought that injecting that into the movie with the costume design was pretty amazing. Especially some of the robots that looked human. They had the human face and the
Yeah,
back it looked like with the gears and everything.
those some annoying things.
It reminded me of if you ever watched AI.
Yeah.
That remember that nursemaid robot that she had the human face when she turned to the side, it was all like
Right.
mechanics and just a little thing of hair sticking out the back. Yeah,
Right.
it kind of reminds you of that a little bit, but a lot better put together because the other maid robot, of course, looked like she had seen better days.
Yeah.
But yeah, really great visual effects and costume design, great set pieces, world building, and like you said, the pacing now.
Right.
Yeah, the movie to me had great pacing.
It
Like I
doesn't
said,
seem to drag like it. There's not like those.
and they didn't overload it either when it
Right.
came to the action scenes. You had several big action pieces, but it didn't ever feel
It
like
didn't overstay its welcome.
yeah. I mean,
Some action scenes they just seem to go on for half the movie and.
Transformers 4.
Oh Lord.
My God, that final action scene was just like Enough already. But no,
Yeah.
you never feel that way with this one. This one's
No.
good for its length and storytelling and pacing. Now, let's get to the thing that just kind of pisses me off. Okay? And that is the reviews that this movie has been getting. And I feel that a lot of these movie reviewers were not being fair at all.
No.
Looking on Rotten Tomatoes, you got a 23% aggregate reviews. I'm going to
No, this
read a
movie earns
few.
better than that. That's
Yeah, I'm
ridiculous.
going to read a few of these reviews, at least just the snippets from it. Jupiter Ascending is a baffling mix of material that is both impressively innovative and utterly ridiculous.
It's a
The only
sci-fi story. What do you want?
Well, yeah, either this person's just not a sci-fi fan, or he or she just did. Well,
I
excuse me,
mean,
Kofi
ridiculous
Outlaw.
is the name of the
Um,
game. You know, it's the fantasticness.
well,
That's
a
the point.
sci-fi series doesn't necessarily have to be ridiculous, but the only way
Well,
that I
this
think a
sort
person,
does. I mean, with the alien races and all that.
but
But
they made
by
they gave a,
ridiculous, I don't mean derogatory. I mean like just you know,
but they gave a good explanation of it.
right.
And so to me, I didn't feel it like it was ridiculous. I guess Jeff here does disagree somewhat, but I feel that to call it ridiculous, you would have not gotten the movie
Right.
and felt that it was just over, that you didn't understand when they explained some elements which made what you saw make sense, like how
But
the
now, what I mean when I say ridiculous, I mean kind of like fantastical. Not, it's not really a negative thing in my opinion. But the way I,
in other words, you have to kind of call for a bit more suspension of disbelief than you normally would. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's fantastical. I'll just use fantastical, not really ridiculous.
Well, let me see
Because
here.
ridiculous is too negative, and I don't want to be too negative on it because I did enjoy it.
And the other one is Redmayne's farcical grandiosity harkens back to sci-fi serials of the 1930s, but unfortunately, so does Jupiter's passivity throughout the film. And that's one of the things that kind of upset me is that calling it her passivity throughout the film. It wasn't passive at all. Jupiter was a very active character.
Bewildered, maybe.
Yeah, it bewildered, and
Kind of like,
especially
whoa, I knew this world, and now, I'm part of this gigantic thing.
yeah,
It was a hell of a lot more believable than the way Neo acted and shit in Matrix.
yeah,
I mean,
definitely,
God, it's not like Mila Kunis was a board.
right.
She
Yeah, she gave a
actually
lot. She gave a much
reacted to
better.
stuff.
Yeah, she gave a much better acting chops than Keanu Reeves.
I
But
mean,
again,
God,
that's apples to oranges there. Let me see here.
ridiculous.
A couple more. Jupiter Ascending is inane from first frame to last. The dialogue is so clunky. I wondered if George Lucas had been brought in to do the rewrite.
Okay, that's
Rewrite.
bullshit.
Yeah,
The
that's
dialogue is not bad. I
that's so
don't know what
much.
the hell they're talking about there.
Yeah, that's so much BS. It's not even funny.
It's like
George,
sand; it gets everywhere.
calling it
No,
calling
it's yeah,
calling that's just uncalled for.
yeah. That's
And the
no.
dialogue,
The
people,
dialogue
is
is
not
not
that
bad.
terribly clunky. It was actually very good and did a very good job of explaining things. It's not my fault if some people weren't interested enough in the movie and just decided to zone out when they actually explained the things that were very important.
Yeah.
And let me see, one more. There are rat-faced or bat-winged minions for cosplay geeks, and Tatum is shirtless much longer than necessary for Magic Mike fans. Jupiter Ascending has something for
He's a
everyone,
damn
everyone and
werewolf. He's more
nobody.
wolf than
Oh,
anything.
hold
I
on, let me
mean,
finish reading this, dude. Jupiter Ascending has something for everyone and nobody at the same time. Could be worse. Could be Cloud Atlas. This person probably never even watched Cloud
oh
Atlas.
Lord.
Cloud Atlas is probably one of the best movies I'd
I'm
ever
really looking
seen.
forward to seeing that. Honestly, I am.
Yeah, you need to bring it over
Honestly,
here. We can both watch it because I actually love that movie so much. I'll
isn't it
watch it
like
a
three
second time.
hours now?
It's okay.
I mean, I gotta set aside the time. Well, I mean, I've got all. You
Well,
I have to watch.
yeah. All right. So anyway, yeah. I mean, that's even more uncalled for than the last. And there are rat face or bat winged minions for cosplay geeks. Maybe so, but they were still pretty cool looking.
Sci-fi again. It's a sci-fi space opera type of show. That's what you expect.
Yep.
These fantastical aliens that are
Yeah.
not.
Something for everyone and nobody at the same time. What does that even
And at
mean?
least they had an explanation for the way these aliens looked, as
Yeah.
opposed to just
Just having
putting
a.
like an arm on the damn head or something like that for the hell of it.
There
These are
were a few.
spliced with animals and things like that. They got.
I recall a movie that was like that, where they had these odd-looking, hybrid-looking alien things, and
I
but
mean,
they
they
never
have a
explain where they
reason,
came from. I can't remember what movie it was. I'm probably
Again,
gonna
more.
wake up in the middle of the night and remember it though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this person just kind of is being very pithy, and that Cloud Atlas barb. I'm like, okay, maybe maybe this person Steve Persol did watch Cloud Atlas, and maybe he didn't like it, but I just don't understand how you could have hated Cloud Atlas. It's a very good movie. Uh, anyway, I could go on, but really a lot of these reviews were very undeserved, and I think that this comes from a very jaded audience.
Yeah.
Uh, to me, this is was a really good movie worth waiting for. Visually stunning, the acting is decent. Now, the background characters may not have carried things as heavily as I would have liked, but they did their part serviceably. This is nowhere near a masterpiece,
No.
but it's still a really good
I'm looking
movie.
at 23%. That's bullshit.
Yeah,
It's just
this is
that doesn't
this
even
this hurts
approach.
my heart looking at it, Rotten Tomatoes.
I mean, at least give it a 50-50.
Yeah, but like I said, this is if you're wanting to go and start your year off, if you haven't gone to go see a movie this year, like no, last movie we went to go see was The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to start your year off with a really good movie. If you haven't gone to see a movie yet, and you're a sci-fi buff like me, you can't
I
go
mean,
wrong with
honestly,
Jupiter
this made
Ascending.
more sense than the end of the damn Hobbit to me in some ways.
Well, the end of The Hobbit was actually not that unlike the book. They had some additions, but they were understandable additions.
Yeah.
But that's another story for another time.
Yeah.
Uh, so, like I said,
I'm just talking about me.
yeah, if you want to start off a year with a really good movie, and you're a sci-fi buff like me, Jupiter Ascending is a pretty darn good movie. I mean, I personally don't understand why this movie has raised such vitriol. I really think that some people just have it out for the Wachowskis. I know a lot of people didn't like Speed Racer. I can understand why some fans of the comic didn't like V for Vendetta. I cannot understand why people did not like Cloud Atlas. That I think a lot of these people just didn't get it. And this movie to me, though not Cloud Atlas, was still tons of fun to watch, and I definitely would see it
I
again
just
and
like
again
that
and again.
they seem to explore these interesting themes and ideas and stuff for their movies. It's like at the very onset, the movie ideas that they choose are interesting.
Yep. Well, that's all I have to say about it, ladies and gentlemen. Special thanks to my friend Jeff for wanting to appear in our little video here. And I just want to know what you thought about it. Please let me know down in the comments below. Uh,
Now this movie
if you didn't like it, hey, I
did this movie
understand.
just come out
Yeah,
like today?
today was the opening day.
Okay,
Yeah,
so there are a lot yet to see it.
yeah. So I mean, if even if you didn't like it, let me know why. But my standing rule: please keep it civil. Don't act trollish. Just be. Just let me know why you thought it was bad. But if you liked it, hey, that's cool. And always comment, rate, subscribe. As always, keep it civil, as I said. Okay, so that's it for my movie review. Hopefully, I'll be doing some others. This year looks like it's going to be a great year for movies. And of course, we got the last one at the end of the year, Star Wars. Definitely going to be doing a video on that. Of course, got a while to wait yet. And so, once again, everyone, this is DecKrash, better known as Brandon.
Jeffrey.
And as always, stay lucky and stay blessed. Take care.